Hello, and thank you so very much for joining me today for another Shamaness Medicine Woman Tantric Kundalini Healer session. I am a spiritual teacher. I am a walk-in soul. I am Samara Andara, also known as Samara Anaya. Okay, I am very spiritually awakened, evolved, as well as I use and implicate Shamaness Medicine Woman healing techniques into my practice, my shamanic practice as an earthbound healer. I also derive from these higher starseed realms, okay? And I've had many past lives on both Mother Earth as well as starseed planet constellations, Orion, Neptune, Venus, the Pleiades, Arcturus, Lyra, Andromeda, the lost worlds of Atlantis and Lemuria that actually got blown up by reptilian starseeds and alpha draconians, which is the opposite starseed race of me, which have also incarnated into human bodies. And so anyways, we are going to, in today's session, we are going to address the importance of calling your power back to you, how to implicate cutting cords that are not yours, so like archonic projections, influences that are not your own, and so on and so forth. I'm going to take a sip of my matcha. So right now I am going to use my shamanic arrowhead. That is a Smoky black Tourmaline. He is huge, and he is going to help cut out these projections to help you get your power back and come into your power to the point where you feel like, okay, something's not right. I don't feel like myself lately, or maybe I've been carrying things that are too heavy. You know, maybe you were hanging out with the wrong crowd, or maybe somebody said something at work and it kind of stuck with you. Just things like that. We're going to do a deep cord cleanse as well later. I have some things very special planned in the session. So this is going to be kind of a faster, aggressive cord cutting. I hear the element of air, you know, Mother Wind out there blowing, and I love days where the wind spirit blows, because I feel like her energy can be, you know, implicated into everyday use. If you were taking a walk outside, or even if it's windy outside, you could say, thank you, Mother Wind, for blowing away negative projections from my aura, from my ethereal, you know, body, my etheric body, my astral body, or my physical vessel, or just my whole energetic field. You know, you can really affirm this out loud, as well as mentally you can say this. Or if you're a visual person, you can imagine and visualize her taking these heavy lower vibrational energies that weigh you down on a daily or a nightly basis. I also want to talk about astral projection and how others with telepathic or telepathy, clairvoyant gifts, who use it for the wrong of mankind, so like the lower vibrationals, okay? A lot of alpha draconians abuse their power on planet Earth to try to control and corrupt mankind and just fit them in their matrix of like a negative connotation, to where like, you should be doing this, you shouldn't have been doing that, implicating blame or projecting toxic energy, like lower vibrational energy, to make you feel guilty, to make you feel shamed, so you play small, in their world, and so that you stand down, so they can't control others against you, right? So like narcissistic smear campaigns, they love doing that, as well as character assassinations. So we are going to be cutting cords right now to any type of targeting that you may have experienced, whether it's someone tried to defame your name, someone tried to take a group and kind of archonically project their negative outlook onto other people in the group to kind of have them fight that personal battle that they have with you in their mind or their energy, and they hook others into this, and then they project onto you to where it's a narcissist triangulation technique where they push their anger onto others, whether if they use a power of the tongue, if they say things about your name or your reputation, or they just project this negative energy out into the air of like your character, and then it's like you have dignity, you have integrity, and you're just like, okay, well, that's not me at all. Like, I don't even know where this is coming from. And it comes from this one soul who just deeply is, secretly competing with you, but they don't compare, or secretly envious of something you have that they don't, whether it's a gift or a talent, or whether it's just a jealous, competitive, negative, lower vibrational like projection that they put onto you that they suffer with mentally or in their spirit. Okay, so like we're going to be cutting these away out of your aura, out of your astral body, as well as out of your etheric tethers. Like they're like literally like ties, and I can see them. They're like branches of a tree, but they're like, some are gray, like murky, and some are black, and then some of them are brown, like a branch of a tree. But like the little, those like, they're like thick branches, but they're like small, and then it's like they have other branches like projecting off of them. So it's like that is what the negative, nasty, lower vibrational archon energy, I know it's a lot, reptilian energy, things like that. People who, and some people were born with spiritual gifts and they don't use them for the greater good. They get stuck in their own ego mind. And then that's when the narcissistic, egoistic, egotistical projections from them start to come out, and then they will attack you in groups, which can be labeled and called as secular witchcraft. Okay, so secular witchcraft can be groups of these baneful magic or malefic magic, lower vibrational witches who they will start to character assassinate your name. They will start to defame your name. They will start the negative, lower vibrational gossip to project, onto your character, to attach other people and pull them in and like plug into them to have them view you the way that they want to ruin your life in some way, whether they're jealous or envious or just, just the lower vibrational energies. And it's like the whole time, like hurt people, right? So like if they're not healed, they can project that pain onto your character, attached to your name, your aura, your astral body. And then some people will actually have a gift of telepathy as well as a gift of astral projections, to where they can go into your dream state in the morning or at night, and they can attach to your etheric aura energy. And so how they do this is the line of energy from their telepathy, from that energetic cord, will go into your dream state. So when you are on 4D and 5D and even 6D, they can use their spiritual gifts that they use for the worst of mankind, not for the greater good of mankind. And they'll kind of get inside of your energy field, and then they'll kind of like hook these tethers of like energy, like etheric energy, and then like that is how they seep in, and then they'll like leak their energy into you, and then you wake up, and then you're it's subconscious, so like sometimes you don't remember it, and then you wake up feeling like, ugh, like, you know what I mean, like, and then you end up feeling confused because you don't directly remember it, so it's subconscious. Sometimes it's unconscious, you know what I mean? And so you're just kind of like, you feel heavy throughout the day. You have these like lower vibrational thoughts. Maybe you feel sad. Maybe you fucking feel like waking up and going to the liquor store and getting a drink, because this person had archonically and reptilianly went inside of your energy, and they were leaking and projecting all of this negativity into you. Okay, and then which I want to talk about astral projection, to how lower vibrational witches can use this to hook you and hook your person, like you physically, your physical vessel, into you so you stay around, so they can siphon and suck your chi life force energy, which is right here, your soul. And you need your chi life force energy to build your life, to create, to be yourself, to be the most highest version of yourself, right? To shed layers of past versions of yourself that you no longer need, that you learned from. So you're evolving. You need your chi life force energy to be happy. You need your chi life force energy to be the creator, the co-creator of your life. So it's like you need your happiness, you need your joy, you need your power, so you can be productive and do your life's purpose on mankind as the divine meant for you to do it. And there's lots of lower vibrationals, I just want to say and point out in this video, there's a lot of lower vibrational shadow energy that will mask themselves as Christians. A lot of them. And they're really not. So they will be like, you know, and they'll manipulate you, whether it's with their tongues, you know, the negative energy manipulation projections, or like they'll manipulate someone else against you, then that person will start hating you, and then they'll manipulate this person against you, and then so it's like two people, and then it's like that person, so then it's like they project their energy and their negative connotations onto your character and your name and attach it to your person, to the point where like now they have two other people or however many people fighting their battle, and they're angry with you. So it's narcissistic triangulation, so it's projections. So like at that point you're just like, okay, like that's not even this person or this other person's energy. This was all projected from the one person who just had a personal problem with me. It wasn't my energy to carry, and you know, now you're getting attacked for it. So this is why we cut and we clear. It's very important to cut and clear. Okay, energetic ties are so real. Okay, everything is a frequency of energy, everything, a thought, a word, you know. And it's like if you're very spiritually evolved, spiritually sensitive, open, you know, and you're like a physical vessel of energy to where you embody this energy. And I'm talking about more than empath, because empath is that term is so loosely thrown around. I'm talking about if you're just like spiritually claircognizant, to where like you know, and spiritually clairsentient, to where you feel, you know what I mean? And you could feel this, or even clairvoyant, like you have visions of it, you know, and it's very real. To where the archonic reptilian agenda, who runs cults like Scientology and Christianity and so on and so forth, and want to have you fit in their box of the matrix and trap and corrupt you with fear, so you play small, and so you serve them, and so they can control you. So like you need to just cut and clear, and you need to be like, okay, that is them, this is me, I know who I am, and I know, you know, my purpose, but we are going to cut this out of you. So I'm going to use my Smoky Quartz, which he wanted to go under the bed. So we're going to use my other Smoky Quartz right here. I meant to tap him. And we are going to just cut and clear this energy to the point where sometimes you could feel the projections very, very much. Like I know I can. So we're going to pull and cut. So I have many Smoky Quartzes, and these projections, you know, they fly around from like, you know, specific, like, you know, people that knew you for many years ago, people that you just met, people that you come into interactions with at work, or like some of them will use their telepathy, like, okay, just say like, I'm a light divine feminine, right? A dark feminine can come up. Okay, a dark feminine can come up and she could have telepathic gifts, but she's not from the light realm. She is from the dark. She is the shadow. And she can use her shadows and her telepathy to negatively influence you, to where she thinks something so very hard and she projects that into your inner reality, or she wishes it. And she's using the shadow aspect of an unhealed insecurity or pain in herself to project it onto you, which is what many of them do. Like, they're hurt because they got rejected by someone they deeply loved or longed for or yearned for. And then they stayed in that darkness to where now they're vibrating at this lower frequency plane in their shadow now, because they've been in that pain for so long, you know? And then it's like that pain has like all types of influences from like chemicals from drugs, or chemicals from psychiatric drugs, or chemicals from fast foods that pass through the hands of others, and everything's energy. So like, you have to really be careful and conscious and aware. Okay, what am I putting in my body? What ingredient does this have in it? Does this person have the best intentions for me? Okay, they don't. So it's just like, let's draw our energetic boundaries. Okay, and they could think really, really hard and wish harmful things on you. Some people who are very like mental with their gifts, so they're telepathic, they know how to use that to their advantage, and they will push that type of energy, because I don't want to call it power, because they're abusing that gift. So they're going to push that energy and project it from within them onto you. So then people are going to start targeting you. And then that targeting, if you're not careful to be conscious and clear that energy and cut the cords, it's going to follow you. This is why we keep smoky quartzes, which that quartz, that smoky that just fell, I felt like he needed to be under the bed. I felt like he really did. And I have several other ones, okay? And I have this one. I want to show you guys this one. This one's a smoky amethyst. And then this one is the smoky quartz. So I felt like that one needed to kind of guard from the ground up under my bed, talking about astral projections, right? So just hang on one second, you guys. So like these darker shadow, like you have darker masculines and you have darker feminines, okay? So these shadows can come in and they could kind of influence you to their advantage, to whether like what they need, okay, from you. So like they can, if they need an energy source, okay, if they need that energy because they weren't born with a divine source light or a god light, so they're energetic vampires, so they'll hook in and manipulate others, okay? They'll use their negative energy projections from their telepathy, from their unhealed wounds and unhealed parts of themselves that they got hurt from long ago, because they don't know how to process the trauma, or they were self-medicating, or they're just medicating. And medication and self-medication is just a mask to help you cope. It's not addressing the root of the problem. So it's like kind of like, okay, I'm using this because it's helping me and I can't deal with it without this. But it's like sometimes you have to feel that raw pain so you can heal and you can release it, so you can become the better version of yourself and you can evolve and grow. But unfortunately, many people in mankind are not strong enough to do that. So what they do is they store the pain, whether it's emotional pain or rejection, which ties to emotional pain, or just any type of like hurt and pain that others projected onto them, or an insecurity that they have within themselves, and then they will project that darker shadow onto you. And then they'll even do it if it gets really bad, and they'll do it to where it's a hate bonding cord, to where that ties into narcissistic abuse, narcissistic triangulation, as well as enmeshment, as well as shared delusional disorder, and so on and so forth. I can get very deep, okay? So like when people are enmeshed and they need, like, they kind of feed off of the energies of each other, which a lot of energy vampires do. They don't value solitude. They always have to be talking to someone because they're like very insecure deep down, or they're very much in pain because of a past trauma, or just a projection from another archon energy onto them, and they don't realize what's happening. They're not aware or like super conscious of it. So they're going to go and they're going to paint this picture and create this negative narrative of you, and they're going to reach those other interactions with those individuals they are enmeshed with very much intertwined with, and they're going to talk about you, and then, you know, it's going to be like a shared bonding of hatred, and then it's going to reproduce this energy. Like, it's going to start messing with your reputation. It'll mess with its character assassination, narcissistic triangulation, to where they'll have others fight the, you know, battle for them against you. And it's really toxic and low vibrational. So like we want to cut these cords. And that Smoky Quartz, he's been wanting to go under there. And I remember like telepathically thinking like I need to put him under my bed. And literally he was trying to tell me, because that was the one that needed to really go under there. So he like went deep under there, probably to protect me from lower vibrational entities, because sometimes they could come from the ground up, as well as astrally project you from like the cosmic realms or the space realms or the energetic realms of lower vibrational shadow entity people. So like it's just a lot of heavy stuff. This is going to be an aggressive cord cutting. So where I'm going to get it out of your... I want to work in the upper chakra today of your pineal gland, because that's where the frustrations and the insecurities of others really hook into you, as well as your back. So I'm going to kind of go back here. I'm going to go like around. I'm going to go. Okay. Above your head over here, from your soul star chakra, your crown chakra, again your pineal gland, your third eye. And I want to make an incision with my teeny smoky amethyst in your third eye. I'm not going to touch you physically. It's not going to mess with you physically, but I'm going to my smoky quartz. He's cutting that, okay? And I want to use the smoky amethyst. I want to use my smoky amethyst to smooth out your upper chakras, your third eye. Okay, so I'm going to be imbuing my Reiki symbolism in this. And we're just going to be smoothing that pineal gland. This is my smoky amethyst. This one embodies a lot more feminine, divine feminine energy, but she also has a bit of masculine from that smoky quartz. Not to say that smoky quartz can't be feminine, but smoky quartz is a force field of protection, just like a lion, like a king lion is going to protect his queen. You know what I mean? So like this one is more feminine, and then this one is more masculine. So this is the just full-on smoky quartz. This one we can use for astral dream projection, protections. We can use also my chevron amethyst, which is here. We're going to kind of get into the astral realms now, okay, of your dreams. So this is 4D, 5D, 6D, 7D. Basically 5D, 6D realms and up. Okay. The chevron amethyst, she is very protective. You could ask it, protect my dreams. Please protect my astral body and my dream states. Protect me ethereally in my dreams. Thank you. And then always thank the crystal, because it has a spirit in it, just like, you know, the trees do, and the, you know, the plants and the flowers. So the sunlight, the moon, all of Mother Moon's phases, it's very spiritual, and we're all very much connected, okay? Everything is connected. So that's why it's very important to set pure intentions every day. If you find yourself like kind of smearing someone's name, kind of step back and be like, okay, this is me. I need to heal an unhealed, you know, trauma part in me. Like what needs to heal in me so I can stop doing this. Like you need to be very like aware. and then focus that negative energy and transmute that darkness and that negativity into light. And then use that energy after you once transmute it for something you want to create, or happiness or joy. Don't vibe on the lower vibrational planes, which it's very easy to get sucked in and to listen to the narratives, these intense negative narratives of others about other people's names, you know, and then that person could really be getting spiritually attacked. And that wouldn't even be that person's fault per se, because they're getting so targeted to the point where now their name is defamed and their character is ruined, character assassination, to the point where you just don't know that they could be struggling with, you know, something to cope with this. Like, so they won't even know really what's going on. So then they'll start using like weed or vaping or alcohol or whatever to cope with, you know, all of these lower vibrations casted against them. Secular witchcraft, you know, groups of people coming up against their name. And it's very popular in politics, politicians who are tied to the Archon reptilian realms, as well as Alpha Draconians, because, you know, if you look at these politics, you will see all of the people running for office, okay, and you'll see all the stuff in the media. It's all bullshit. It's all rigged. They already know what president's going to be of your country. You know what I mean? And it's all part of that reptilian bloodline agenda, to where, you know, they keep everyone in the matrix. They keep everything controlled as a new world order, okay? They know exactly what the fuck to put in COVID to create disease fests for humans. This is all part of the NWO, the New World Order. Whether you look at it as a Freemason or a reptilian from the Bohemian Grove bloodline, whether you look at it from reptilians from George W. Bush or John F. Kennedy, these politicians and these higher level of positions of power, lots of reptilian bloodlines come from that line right there, those positions of power. Whether you're an attorney, now I'm not saying every politician is corruptive and evil, I'm not saying every attorney or every doctor is, I'm not saying every cop is a crooked cop. I'm just saying people in those positions, they can abuse their power. They can use it for the worst of mankind. They don't always have the best intentions, because that is their dirty soul. That is their insecurity or their pain. You know what I'm saying? Then they project it. Maybe they were projected on and it's in their bloodline, and they're not a generational curse breaker. So they're just like naturally inclined to go that route, and they don't even know what the fuck is going on, but they just act from their natural state of being, which is being a corruptive Archon fucking reptilian energy. You know what I mean? Like, they don't even know it. Their father had alcoholism, so they're gonna fucking drink. Their father had an addiction to this, so they're gonna fucking have an addiction to this or something else or whatever. So like, it's up to you to be the leader of your own life and the creator of your own reality. So if you find yourself like imbuing yourself in self addictions, you know, those chronic like whatever, like the self-medications, if you're self-medicating and then you're finding yourself feeling intensely angry and lower vibrational, or you find yourself feeling intensely hateful sometimes, or if you find yourself smearing someone's name to like your friend or whatever, you're, you know, smearing your girlfriend's name to your brother or whatever, like, these are just examples that I'm throwing out. Kind of take a step back and be like, okay, where is this coming from? What is in me that I need to address, that I need to heal, so I could channel all this darkness and these lower vibrational negative energies into something I can use for the greater of mankind, for my life and for others. You know what I mean? So like, you want to transmute that darkness. You want to take yourself out of those shadows, and you want to really address it. And then you need to just like stop gossiping, stop narcissistically triangulating people, stop character assassinating people's name, defaming their name. Like, stop being on that those low vibrational planes, so you can create the life that you desire. Kind of detox from your self-medicating ways. Try to see like the unhealed parts of yourself, try to heal them. And yeah, it sucks that other people hurt you and now you have to heal those wounds and you didn't ask for it. But this is part of the human integration of the soul and healing, as well as your spiritual evolution, your spiritual insight, and your spiritual awareness. So this is why we cut and we clear, okay? It's very important to be very self-aware, okay? Is this my energy? Or am I embodying this energy from something I'm picking up on? Or is it something that someone projected on me with their tongue, with what they told me? And is it the truth? Because a lot of people, unfortunately, who go into the matrix and who are, you know, imbued in like a specific group or a cult, they'll run with the sheep, and then they'll be very low vibrational, and then they'll just go with whatever someone wants them to do. Like, they'll be easily influenced, and they don't know how to be their own person, and then they start acting like the rest of the group or thinking like the rest of the group. And this is where it can get dangerous, because that group leader can seem like, oh my god, like this person, like, this is just an example, okay? And it might be a low vibrational example, but you see someone at the club and you see this man who, like, you're like, how does he do it? And he seems like he pulls like so many women, he has so much money, you know what I mean? And he, like, you just see him with all this material shit around him, and things seem to be going great. You don't know on the inside that this person could be fighting a battlefield. He can be having awful drug addictions that he uses at home away from this. He could have a really bad alcohol problem. He could manipulate people behind the scenes, or try to control masses of people to do his bidding or do whatever he wants them to do. So it seems like they have it all. They have the car, the house, all the women, they have a business, they've got tons of money, but inside they're so corruptive and they're so like low vibrational. And it's easy to get caught up in these matrix addictions of these lower vibrational frequencies, to where like you want that fucking perfect wife, you want a perfect fucking 10 or 100, whatever you call it, you want the perfect fucking husband, you guys want that house, you want the kids, you want the fucking whatever you want. Or you don't want the husband, you want like many fucking people. Or you don't want the wife, you want many people, you want the money, you want the car, you want the clothes, you want the flashy shit. That is all connected to ego, okay, which is very corruptive. So in order to heal and spiritually evolve, we have to shed parts of our ego, okay? Ego is tied to greed. It is tied to demoralization of the character. It is tied to hate. It is tied to just so many things that can tie into the materialistic world, to the point where people will betray the ones that they're supposed to care for and love to climb up not even the corporate ladder, but to look like they have it all together in someone's eyes. Like, they will get so hurt and be so pained from past rejections, failures, or just, you know, insecurities or traumas that were put onto them, or that they have their own issues with. And then they will literally be like, they'll turn their heart light off. They won't act from their heart chakra. They will hang on to that pain. They'll attach it to a self-medicating addiction, and they'll be like, fuck this. I'm going to play all these girls. If this one girl did this to me, that means she's going to do this to me. If this one dude did this to me, that means he's going to be like him. And I'm just going to fucking not get attached. I'm going to have whoever I want in my bed. And then they start becoming loose, and they start becoming, you know what I'm saying? Like, with their character, they start becoming messy. They start letting just like different types of energies fill their beds, you know what I'm saying? And they have this like narcissistic judgment, and then they kind of like project it like, oh, I got hurt one time, I don't know how to, you know, heal from these wounds. So it's very important to address yourself so you can heal, okay? And I just want to go like this, because I do feel like there's lots of energies in this universe that are not meant, like, they're like here, and they're here to like keep us down, like under their shoe, like try to control us or archonically divide us from the love and the light and the truth inside of us. And they kind of like hold us under their shoe, to where they like put you in a state of disadvantage, to where you can't grow or reach your full potential, okay? And to where you can't ascend and live your best life, or live your desired life that you want, you know what I mean? So, and like desires, and this all ties into Abrahamic conditioning. It's okay to live a life of your desires, okay? It's okay to live your best life as your wants and things like that. Just don't go hurting other people around you. You know, whether it's poisoning their brain with an archon lie about someone else, or whether it's self-medicating and then influencing someone else to fucking self-medicate with you. Like, that is not cool. That's low vibrational as fuck. Like, that is something that you need to heal inside of you. Do not project pain onto other people. If you did, and if you're learning, the only thing you can do is become the best version of yourself and evolve. You cannot go back into a time machine. People are going to hold you in a state of disadvantage with the way they see you from past versions of yourself. There's nothing you can do about that. You can only wake up every day and try harder to be the best version of yourself, and to make sure you don't spread hatred or low vibrations. Make sure that you spread your life's purpose, and you need to act from your heart chakra and not act from a lower vibrational point of, okay, today I feel like getting high and I'm just gonna fucking get high, and then, oh, I want to pull this person and this person in. And, you know, because I'm feeling this way, or I can't process this, or maybe you don't even know all of that. Maybe you just do it because you're just like, it's a habit and it's habitual and it's come like part of your ritual, like everyday routine. And you're just like doing this, you know what I'm saying? And then it's like, you're constantly projecting those negative energies and entities from the chemicals in those lower vibrations that you're ingesting from your self addictions. So it's like, a lot of people will even go to the alcohol stores. I saw a man walk in to a wine and spirits store. Why do you think that they call it wine and spirits? Because there's certain spirits that invade alcohol, and when you ingest them, you get influenced to where you start having a sex addiction, or you start having a fucking drug addiction, or you start fucking being low vibrational negative, because alcohol is a depressive, okay? It'll bring you down. And it's like, it'll make you feel good, but it's a temporary mask for the pain and the trauma underneath that you are not conscious of or aware of, that you need to heal and then integrate, you know, out of yourself. Like, so it's just like lots of self addictions and habits, and you can create rituals, you know what I'm saying, to kind of like, you know, just, what is it called? Just clear it. You need to cut and clear just negative energies. And you need to, I'm going to use the Smoky Quartz, and I'm going to start just cutting, clearing negative energy vampires, their hooks into you, just bad, lower vibrational energies, you know what I mean? Things like this, like rage baiters. So like we were talking about rage baiting in like, I think my 4 or 5 videos back. So if you don't know about rage baiting, the hell, I'll just tell you. So what is a rage baiter? Somebody who tries to bother you or say something or try to sabotage you or do something to get you out of your element and get you upset, which is tied to energy vampirism, to the point where they will try to sabotage your videos, you know what I mean? Or they will try to get you upset or angry. And then what that does is, when you get out of your calm element or your serenity healer element and that level of tranquility that you are at, the energy vampire will take that upset or that sadness or that lower vibrational emotion that they have projected onto you, whether they did something or said something, and then they will feed off of that lower vibration to get their energy source fulfilled, because they were not born with a source divine light, with a God light. They need to feed off of something, just like a predator and a prey, okay? Just like a power cord. When you stick that in the wall, okay, and then connect it to your phone, that is how energy vampires work, and that is how they steal your good energy. So you're not productive, so you're not creative, so you don't feel joy, and then they take you down to their level, because they're just like darkness, like shadow lurkers, and then they just feel bad, like period. They feel bad about themselves, or like they have an insecurity to the point where like they, you know what I mean, they try to say something or do something, live example, and then they will try to suck it out of you. Like they will try to get you upset or make you feel a certain type of way, or even make you start talking about them to where they steal your energy, or they steal your energy of, they do it to where they get you moody. They do it to get you not just upset, but sad or angry, okay? And then you have to be like, okay, that is them, this is me, I know I have pure intentions, you know. And it's all about karma too, as well as they they're creating negative narratives of you, and they're even thriving off of past old versions of you that you've outgrown, and then they're creating and building bad karma for them in their next lives. So we're going to just shake this out, because the karmic wheel is very, very strong. So like if negative lower vibrations attach to you, they've probably been attached to you from many lifetimes, okay? They probably have attached to you, you know, you've been carrying this karmic cord for a very long time, okay? So this is why I use my tools and Mother Gaia gifts to cleanse this out. Which I'm feeling very good today. I feel very energized. I feel like I'm, you know, I'm very much in my power. I feel really good in my physical vessel. Energetically, I feel strong. I feel like I have a high energy of vitality. So it's really good that I'm spreading my light and my gifts. And I want to share some beautiful rose energy with you that I've picked from my friend's garden. She always lets me pick from her garden. She has a beautiful house out in Castleberry, and she's always like, every time you pass through here, feel free to pick these beautiful roses, as many as you want. Like, she's really sweet. And so last night on the way home from the market, I happened to pass by, and I was like, you know what? Let me take her up on this offer. And they're just Mother Earth's divine gifts, and I just love. And they smell so good. And sometimes I put them on like beds of cinnamon or some star anise or allspice, and they end up smelling like amazing. So like I'll put them like this in Mother Gaia's spice, like herb sticks, you know. And it just feels really good to imbue this type of energy. So getting back on track, we're going to do a deep energy cleanse, which I've been meaning to do. So on here you see some Reiki symbols. Okay. I'm going to kind of seal your aura now, because we've been doing lots of cutting. And when we do cord cutting, if you feel these energies come up, you need to release them. So cry it out, scream in a pillow, punch an old couch that you have, like in the garage or the living room or whatever. You know, you need to release. So this is what I've been actively working towards in healing your energy, which beautiful. Okay, this is called Selenite, and he will clean out all of your negative lower vibrational energies. I guess he is a tea light candle holder in there. There's some herbs floating around because I was using some herbal cleansings earlier. And I just feel really good today. Today is a really good wintry mother wind, you know, natural air element day. And like the wind, like the wind element, the air element, I have lots of air in my chart, even though I'm not my sun is in a water element. So like my sun sign is a water element, which water is wonderful to cleanse and clear, you know, as well as a great conduit for spirit. Like if you take a bath or if you do shower meditations to detach from lower vibrational energies and to cleanse. The wind, you know, the air, she's wonderful to blow lower negative vibrational shadows away, okay? And then fire is wonderful because that element is so powerful that it will burn away and cut away what no longer serves, okay? And then earth is great because, you know, she stabilizes you, she roots you in, you know, she grows these beautiful fruit, and all of her, you know, we get the spices and, you know, the herbal plant medicines from Mama Gaia. So all of the elements are very important. I'm going to use this, but I just want to show you I have the elements earth, air, fire, water tatted on me. I had that many years ago in my 30s, tatted on me. My earth, air, fire, water, as well as some goddess symbols. Okay, so I have Welsh in me on my DNA ancestry, to where this is a goddess symbol of spirals, as well as my other goddess symbol of spirals. I have them on both wrists. I am a very much natural goddess of the elements earth, air, fire, and water, and I use these powers to help you, as well as the moon phases, okay, to where we are able to shed our egos and our shadow selves, to where we can grow and progress and be the best version of ourselves, and, you know, kind of defeat that lower vibrational archonic negative energy vampire shit that we don't need, you know what I mean, and like transmute that darkness into light, because that is very important, you know, to transmute these energies into light, because there will be a lot of dark feminines that will use their like negative energy projections, and they'll use it against your name or your character, or they'll just kind of use it like to try to sabotage you and ruin, you know, create obstacles or create problems. Like maybe they are the problem, but that they project all of that shit and make it look like to other people that they're not the problem, and they project it onto your name, and to the point where they really character like assassinate you, to the point where like you look bad in other people's eyes, and before you know it, like they're sabotaging job interviews, or they're sabotaging your twin flame connection, because they wish this shit on you. Because a lot of people who have telepathic, you know, they're born of telepathy, or the telepathy runs in a bloodline, just like a reptilian bloodline of corruption. Telepathy can be passed down. So your mother could have it, you could have it, and so on and so forth. And so like if there's a dark feminine, if you're born from like a darker realm, you don't use that telepathy gift for the greater good of mankind. You use it from the shadow element, to where you mask the pain, and then you learn how to subconsciously trigger, like you take that pain that's within, you never heal it, you use self-medication, and then you project it onto the people who have spiritual gifts and are supposed to use their light and their love for the greater good of mankind. And then it's like, before you know it, you know what I'm saying, you kind of gather this in your aura if you're not careful to clear and shake things out. You know, and they could feel it. Telepathic people, they use their psychic powers for the worst of mankind if they're from a shadow realm, or if they come into contact with someone from the shadow realm. Because some people, they were very like, just say, this is just use an example. They could have been like a free-spirited fairy, but then they got enmeshed with someone from a darker realm. Okay, you know what I mean? So like, you kind of like, I don't know, take that, and then it changes their free-spirited ways, and then they get sort of like damaged, and then they're just kind of like, you know what I mean? They kind of go down in a downward spiral, to the point where they'll just stay there, and they'll vibrate so low to where they'll ruin your character. They will gossip about you. They'll create hate bonds against you with other people. So let's talk about hate bonding. It's when like someone hates you, or they have an insecurity within themselves, and it always comes from hatred, from an insecurity. It never comes from a what is it? It never comes from a good place. So they're going to use that insecurity or that pain cord, and they're going to project it onto you, okay? And they will set you up. Like, it's so sneaky and malicious and malefic and baneful, to the point where, like, you can feel their sharp energy, okay? You can, like, they'll try to sabotage you, whether it's, like I said, make you break up your soulmate relationship, try to ruin the way, you know, your reputation or your person in other people's eyes, try to ruin your life, like ruin your personal belongings, or like whether it's crystals or clothes or whatever they know that means something to you, they will fucking ruin it, depending on how dirty of a person that they are. So it's like, until they are aware and conscious of what they're doing and how they're projecting their pain onto you, they're never going to heal. And a lot of people stay down in those lower vibrational planes. They will be like that all their lives. I've seen my ex-mother-in-law do it. She's like 60 something. She was born in 1957. She does not heal from relationships. She will project her ego and her negative connotation outlooks from, you know, Christianity cults or whatever, and then she'll play the victim. Like, she will spin things onto you, and she'll make her, you know, faults and her habits, she knows how to project it. You know what I'm saying? And it's like those negative energy manipulators, like, I don't need this shit in my life. I don't need this person in my life. Like, leave, get out. And unfortunately, a lot of those lower vibrations, and I'm talking about like lower vibrational females, because a lot of females, they know how to manipulate men, and they know how to manipulate masses of people, whether it's men or women, against you. You know, and if you're a truth teller and those people are archonic like that person, or they're unhealed like that person, and it's so easy for them to just, okay, leak their energy into this person, that person, that person, and then it goes into groups to where it's like a domino effect of this like force. And then it's just like, if you're not careful to, you know, address these and then cut them spiritually and clear, that will have an effect on you, whether it's a physical body pain or it's damage to your reputation and how others see you in their eyes. Because hate bonding, like, I've seen it in families to where like one person holds a past version of you against you, or hate is passed down through the bloodline generation, just like alcoholism. And then before you know it, they will scapegoat one person, and then they will band together and ruin that person's belongings, ruin how the neighbors see them and their character. Okay, so hate bonding is very, very real. So this is why we cut and we clear this negative energy. And you heard a real life live energy vampire try to sabotage my video. Like, you heard her screaming, and like this was like a purposeful, like kind of like baneful attack, to where like she knew I was doing my YouTube recording, and instead of walking down the hallway and just talking quietly and having that like level of consideration, she wanted to sabotage my video or try to ruin it, and then try to get a reaction out of me so she could suck my good energy and suck that chi life force energy so she can use it in her everyday life, because she wasn't born with the god light. Or maybe she was born with the god light, but she got enmeshed with someone from a very dark realm, and then he pushed that energy inside of her because his DNA is in her, and then now she's just a dark feminine, and she just can't help but just be, you know, that way, and she doesn't know how to heal from it, you know what I mean, or let go, or who knows, maybe she was a dark feminine all along. And that's where all the manipulation came from. And then she met the dark masculine and they just ruined everything. You just never really know. So we're going to do a deep cleanse here. So now I got a little bit of peace because that negative energy vampire is out the house right now, one of them. So I'm just going to be radiating your aura with this, renewing your aura, your auric fields. I'm going to do a deep energy cleanse with my shaman owl here. And if you hear any stomach grumblings, forgive it, because I'm on my 72-hour fast right now on my cleanse, and I've surpassed the 24-hour mark, but I have more. I have like 2 more days left, so I'm doing this. I feel a lot better today though. mentally, emotionally, spiritually. I feel like I'm on my top tier point. I feel happy. I feel like I have my vitality back and my energy back after not having it after having it attacked for so many years. So this is going to be a really deep cord energetic cleansing session, to the point where if you feel like you need to release, if you feel like you need to cry, if you feel like you need to write in a journal and get things out, do whatever you need to do healthfully to release. So like journaling is really good, as well as exercise, crystal, aromatherapy with wax cubes, or, essential oils. And then they will procreate these bloodlines, I just want to say, of dark energy, to where like it will be like this force that comes up against you and tries to really ruin your life or steal your life force energy, so they could keep the energy and they could keep thriving from that lower vibrational plane. So what they do is they start to steal your good energy and, once again, rage bait you, whether it's doing something deliberate to knock you off of your calming, normal energy vibration, to steal your good energy. You know what I mean? So when they steal your energy, they use that good energy, that joy, that creativity, that happiness, and then they use it for their life force. So we are going to fortify our energetic boundaries. We are also going to cut the cords with this energy. With this black tourmaline. And you guys already know me, and you already know what I was going to say. I don't even have to say it. So black tourmaline and smoky quartz is very good, which I'm going to pop him in here. I'm going to sage bath him really quick, as well as him. I'm going to pop him down in here. So this is going to put a powerful protection around you. Just going to cleanse. I'm going to cleanse you guys here. Cleanse me so I don't absorb any negative lower vibrational energies or energy vampire cords, because we don't need that shit. And they'll try to hook you, especially the telepathic energy vampires, which alpha draconians can be very detrimental to your physical health, your mental health, your well-being, your environment, and all of that good stuff. So it's very important to be conscious and aware, so you could keep your energetic boundaries fortified, aligned, alive. You could have that vitality in your energy. So, and they, like I said, they procreate to the point where there was this one energy vampire, and he knew exactly what he was doing, and he kind of hooked into the family, and he procreated like 2 seeds and another one. So now they just kind of like hate bond and feed off of each other, and it's just like really negative. We're going to keep cutting and pulling these cords out. I'm trying to think of what else I could put up here, because I want it to be more like this, instead of you guys being kind of like down there. Hopefully that doesn't fall, but I don't really want the ceiling or that vent to be in view. So I gotta find something. I think I know what to do for the next one. Ooh, that winter air, it feels really good. It's really cooling on the skin. I love cold winter air on my face. One time I had a negative energy vampire burn my face with her cigarette. And luckily, like, I had a pregnancy, and my boy from the Alvin realm, he healed me. He's like, Mama, I've come to planet and I'm going to heal you. And he is such a beautiful soul. These same energy vampires had tried to exile my children from my father's house, and it was a lot of stuff that I had to go through. But I'd rather have my children in a safer environment than be subjected to their negative energy vampire abuse and their negative energy hate bonding projections. So I'm just grateful that my kids are safe, their things are safe, their mind, body, spirits, auras are safe. They don't go through any physical abuse or emotional abuse or spiritual abuse over here. They are protected from this lower vibrational shit going on. So this is why I say be very conscious and aware and careful who you keep in your energy, who you let in your family circle, because my parents did not protect the family. They just fucking got manipulated, and like before you know it, like the whole empire is just like overturned by shadows and negative energies. So I hope that you guys had a great session. This is just it got kind of watered down. I gotta put more juice in it from the ice. It's a very zingy drink that I've been doing that detoxes and cleanses the system, which I'm gonna put some more carrot. So this right here, ooh, the sun is coming out beautiful. I love Father Sun God Ra. This got really watered down, and this is like my juice for the day. And it's part of that cleansing. It's got cinnamon powder as well as turmeric, cinnamon stick, bits of lime juice I sprinkled in there. Did I say turmeric? It's got papaya seed. Well, no, I didn't put papaya in this one, but I'm about to. So I scoop these out and I leave them in a plastic baggie by my window, and it's just like the winter air keeps it cool, like it's in a refrigerator. And especially like if you live with energy vampires, they'll ruin your stuff in the refrigerator, so it's like you can't really like keep shit in there just to protect your shit, because like I said, everything that you put in your body carries an energetic frequency. So I just threw a bunch of these in there. And I'm going to kind of take another cinnamon stick and make sure it's not molded. Make sure it's not molded. Stir that around and pop him in there as well. And I'm going to add some more lime to this. So sometimes if I don't have access to a fresh lime, this is like kind of a backup. And then you also can place in this right here. Hang on. Put some of this in here. Teeny bit inside. Just a teeny bit, not like a lot. So you get the pulp in there. And then you can stir it around again with like another cinnamon stick. And that mother wind is blowing so profusely, out there. And then I had like a bay leaf. So adding like a bay leaf to it. And then voila, there is your drink. And I could taste the aloe pulp. You could put apple cider vinegar in this. And there's your juice detox for the day. If you're on a detox cleanse, I'm going to start boiling some herbal teas. And you can also drink some smart water with a high pH of 9.5. This is the 9.5 pH antioxidant alkaline smart water. So this is really good. It's purified water, and it'll keep your vibrations high. I say be very careful with spring water. A lot of spiritualists and even vegans will think spring water is the best for you. Excuse me, they will think that it is the best for you. Okay? But you don't realize like how much fish kind of like, it just got really cold in here, how like fish can piss in the rivers and the streams, okay, and then humans can even piss in there, and it's just like, I personally don't want spring water in my physical vessel. I'd rather have a purified 9.5 pH. But it all depends on personal preference. So, you guys, I hope that you enjoy the session. You guys, I love you. If you want, you can make an energy. If you want to show your love and your appreciation, I am accepting donations to where like it's like an energy exchange, to where like I offer you my sessions of shamaness, medicine, woman healing, my Reiki healing, my spiritual teachings, my advice to you from Mother Plant Medicine, Mother Gaia realm, and Starseed realms in exchange for earth currency. So I'm going to leave my Cash App in the link below, and if this helped you, please show some love and make that donation. If you have any special requests, you can leave them in the comments, or you could email me. You can go to my about section on my channel. My email you will find there. And I thank you so much for joining me, and I thank you so much for allowing me to clear you, to cut any cords, and to advise you and also make you aware and conscious of what's really going on behind the scenes in the Archon reptilian agenda. Okay, so thank you so much, and I love you. And remember, you are the embodiment of love. You are love. Remember, if you're vibrating from like a lower frequency right now, there's always room for change. You always can evolve. The first step is becoming aware, and the second step is just healing, okay? And this is what I teach in my videos, as well as the lower vibrational archonics, you know, like the reptilians or the alpha draconians, or just lower vibrational shadow people or spirit attachments that will attach to you, and I detach them from you energetically. And I am a, you know, with my shamanic healing techniques and my cord cuttings with the crystals, because everything is a frequency, everything is a vibration. So I hope you guys enjoy this. It's getting quite nipply outside and I can feel this. I'm like, brr. So I love you guys. Please learn how to unleash your light and your gifts for the greater good of mankind. And remember, you are the light. You have a talent. You have a power. You have a gift. You are blessed, okay? And even if you don't feel blessed, this is a channeled message for someone. I need to hurry up because the camera. Even if you don't feel blessed, you're learning, you're becoming. You have to learn on this path that you're on, even if you're going through hardships or other people are bringing you problems or projecting onto you their energies, and you're feeling awful or you're feeling like you have to self-medicate. You can always become aware, and you always can be like, okay, let me separate myself from this person, or let me just kind of, you know, paint today. Let me do some art. Let me do some sculpture. Let me play my guitar. Let me write some lyrics. Or let me go to her videos and she could pull these cords and cut them out of me. Like, you guys, let's get real. So I love you. Remember, you are the embodiment of light. You are the embodiment of truth. And you have the choice every day, a conscious choice, to act from that light within. You have a light within. And if you are from a darker realm, you can learn how to channel those lower vibrational pessimism energies and feelings, or those negative vibrations, into light and truth. And you can learn how to heal and how to subject that love after you heal, and outwardly like radiate that out of your soul. You can even go from a darker entity force going up to your light and your higher consciousness, okay? So I love you guys. I'm gonna use this in my next session, whenever that may be. It may be tomorrow, I don't know. But I love you guys, and lots of light to you.